All right, welcome to my presentation for industry needs, and I'm going to be doing a focus on the lack of construction workers in the industry because I'm a construction management major and I've seen a lot of this firsthand. When I first saw industry needs, I first thought is construction workers, and then going through and seeing more what's going on. Why are younger people mainly not coming in and joining the construction force? So now, if current trends also continue, it's going to get very, very expensive. And I'll kind of break down some more of those economic principles later on, and also just some of the consequences things that I go through. And then, so I'm going to focus on just a few areas. So there's a lot, but these are kind of the big ones that I kind of saw more focusing on why my generation is not going as much in the construction force. So right now, experts estimate that we're losing 250,000 new workers every year. Now, keep in mind this is in 2000, so of course, many years later, these numbers are even higher at this point. And if they're going to continue to keep increasing, this is just what I saw in one of the best peer-reviewed articles that I've seen so far. The construction industry is one of the largest industries in the world, so there's a ton of work out there in this. And it's not, and especially now in today's economy, it's been the number one. The last 5 years have been the best in construction, pretty much ever. And I'm sure you guys go anywhere, even in Bowling Green, you see it, in Louisville, Nashville, everywhere it's just exploding with construction. So what's going on? Why are we not having more younger people entering into this industry? One of the reasons I think is it's pretty stressful. I've seen some of it firsthand working on projects, how stressful it can really get. And a lot of us see like, man, that guy's really, really stressed out. Or maybe we see with family or close relatives, we see how stressed out a lot of people are. We're like, we don't necessarily understand if we should be doing this for a living. And also with stress comes job safety. If you're stressed out, you're not going to be as vigilant on a job site. You could get injured more, heart problems later on in life if you keep it up. So a lot of people are saying, maybe I should get a job that's a little less stressful. And also another reason that there's also not a lot of growth is it's expensive to train newer and younger people. A lot of companies, they just look at their profits and see what my bottom line is and how can I cut that. And training is not a cheap thing. And also along with that is the industry turnover is very, very, very high. It's somewhere between, I think, 15 and 25%. So with that amount of turnover and that rate, why would companies want to invest time, energy into training people when they're not even giving back to the company and paying for it? And also, like I said, they're highly mobile. Many reasons contractors don't want to be someone else's employee. So the one area that training is probably done the best is with the unions. Give and take on how you feel in the unions, but the trade unions, they do great at bringing in new people. It's a 5-year apprenticeship that weeds out a lot of the people that don't want to make it. You get an associate's degree from it, and you are very well trained, and they try to make sure that they guarantee a certain level of work that you wouldn't normally get by just bringing Mr. Smojo who's worked for a company for a year that's going to do whatever work for you. So they help out a lot. And so, but another thing is not everyone's going to go the union route. So companies need to start stepping up and doing more training. Now I'll say my company has done a great job with that. They've brought me on, they've trained me, they've done a lot of work in developing me, and they're going to continue to do that because they want me to continue and grow with them. Especially when you train someone in the way that you want something done, that's how you get the best work. And for me, I even feel a sense of appreciation for that, and so do a lot of other people. So like they've invested all this time and money over me the last couple of years, and will probably invest some more money into me next year until I'm ready to kind of go out on my own. But I at least want to give them several years of my time just to at least pay them back and say thank you for doing that and growing me and building me as somebody that could be very effective and useful for their company. So I think a lot of people feel that way as well. Now, and also one of these pilot studies that was done in Alberta, Canada, that showed that foremen were actually very, very satisfied with a lot of their apprentices who are out there. People say, I don't want to bring out these young people that are lazy or don't care, but a lot of these foremen, the ability to work, focus, and learn. Especially when you're passionate about something, you want to work the best, you want to do the best, and you want to learn the best. So doing those things and bringing in more people, I think a lot of people are actually surprised our generation. We kind of get a lot of stigmatized and being millennials and lazy or whatever, but people that have a passion about it, like for me, I have a big passion for construction, so I love being out there. I love learning and growing, and there's a lot more people out there like me that might need to see how awesome this industry is. And we like being challenged. If you just put us on a broom, cleaning up a job site every day, we're not going to be that happy about what we're doing. But for me, I don't mind doing some of that work. I'm more than happy. I'm not going to just tell somebody to pick up a broom and clean that up, but I also want to be part of more of the technical aspects of things as well, so that I could be able to learn more and grow. So that's the whole point of being out there, not just some backbreaker out there. I want to learn and grow so I'll be able to run my own job sites effectively. So a lot of companies, they will do that. They'll bring in that type of structure where they just not adequate for growth and challenging enough for a lot of people. So if they try to change the climate and try to work on actually training and not just using people, I think you'd see a lot more people that are very excited for doing this. So now another way to solve this problem is to bring in a foreign labor force. I.e., generally south of the border, maybe other countries. A lot of these, the people that actually do work in that now are generally unskilled. So they're doing that type of work I was talking about, the pushing the broom, the back, bringing the supplies up, whatever it may be. But if we can actually teach those people and start getting them more skilled, that'd be able to also bring in that labor gap, because they technically lead to more physical labor aspirations of the projects. But that also can bring another part that can be kind of a tougher transition, is to kind of that language barrier. So on top of that training, you also need to teach them necessarily our native language if they don't already. But that is one solution that actually is that can be very profitable and really help fill that gap. But it's just a matter of getting to that point, making that transition over. And with our political climate as it is, it's a little wishy-washy. So, but that is definitely one solution. So right now, as young people, out of rank 248 out of 250 jobs is where construction lays on where we decide where we want to go. And that's just a front of commercial fishing and migrant farming. So we really have a big stigmatized that we need to try to work on and bring in more people that want to be inside this industry. Now, there are a couple issues, like I said. They implement the training, on top of everything else. But a lot of these foreign workers, they will sometimes be on a project maybe day to day or week to week. They're not necessarily going to stick into that place. So sometimes they often move around a lot more to try to hop from project to project wherever there's work, instead of staying on site and learning a lot of the stuff. So, but a lot of these guys can also be a dime a dozen. You can go down to wherever and pick up several of these individuals and bring them on your site, and then they're just gone again. So it's trying to also make that step for those that want to try to step up and learn the more skilled parts aspect, but that also kind of has to deal with some of the legality of being in as well. But if we had a nice transition middle part in there to bring a lot of these people, it would really help out and be able to grow our industry. Now, another part that I thought was really interesting, and for me, I really enjoy economics. But first, the average craft worker age is 47. I think right now it's about 55 or 60. But they're, like I said, that's back in 2000. Those numbers are even from then. So now, one simple economic solution that might end up happening is supply and demand. If you have a low supply of workers, you're going to have a very high. It's going to be very, very expensive to build. So that's going to be pushed on either to the owner, the person whoever's building the project, or eventually the customer. So when there's a shortage, things are going to go up. So now the reason I think that might be a solution is because when we start seeing, man, maybe college isn't the best fit for me, but I can go to a trade union and I can go make 130, 140, whatever the amount is. I could do really, really well for myself by just being able and going and working in the construction industry, and just the money aspect alone would be worth it for a lot of people. So I think this one is actually the most practical thing that I think is going to happen, and is continuing to happen now with the rising prices for construction. Now, conclusion. We need more skilled workers. Like I said, the ways that we're going to do that is increase training, possibly being in migrants, workers, and trying to increase the trade unions, and also try to change the stigmatism that has to do with working in construction. And also, it might just be simple economics. Now, the conversation with this is a lot more complex, but this is my big overview that I think are some of the major issues, and it's coming with maybe solutions that would be able to help out and continue to increase our labor force. These are all my sources. Thank you very much.